Okay, where's my threaded deal here? Where's my deal, yo? Okay, here's my deal. Right here. Remember I always say there's usually two ways to skin a cat? Not literally, but you know what I mean. Had we have had an O-ring in here, it would not have leaked. It never would have gotten into the threads, would it have? Or it would have come through the threads and then it would have hit the rubber gasket and that would have stopped it from leaking. Well, because we don't have that, we're going to take Teflon tape here, and I'm going to end up doing it that way. The funny thing about Teflon tape, I'm trying to do this backwards here, is I want to put it on here so I'm twisting it in the same way that this is going to screw on. Okay, I'm looking at that. See, as I twist it that way, it's going to go there. So when I cut this off, that's still going the same direction. And that's the way you want it. If you did it the other way, as you tighten it, as you tighten this back on, it would start wanting to work off. And see, this Teflon tape, it's just a hair wider than the threads, but if you kind of put pressure on it, you can sort of stretch it and it will go right where you want. Okay, that's another reason why I wanted to do it here and not down on my back, you know, underneath the sink. Okay, so now I can take that and I can just pull it off like that. And see, it's going that way and it's twisting in the right direction. And I've got a few spins around here. The important thing is to make sure you don't put too many spins on, because these threads are so fine, we have to be careful when we put it in. The last thing you want to do on your back is to try to put it at a slight skew, thinking, okay, I got it, and then you start tightening up. Oh, it'll go, I'll just keep going it tighter. And then you cross thread all of this, then you can't get it tight enough. Okay, it's the last thing we want to do. So hold your mouth right when you put this back in. And you remember how we're going to put it in. I've got this all set up. This is going to go first like that because it's contoured to fit the socket. This is contoured on the inside to fit the socket like that. And then we have to fish that in, and the pop-up valve, let's get that pop-up valve. See, now the pop-up valve comes out. See, there's a hook on the end. And you slip it on that way. Now generally it shouldn't matter which way it goes, okay, because it's still going to hold on there, you see. But I like to, you know, maybe think that this way, actually you'd think that way would go further, but then maybe it might have a tendency, if this is sloppy, it might have a tendency to slide off and then get all funky, and I've had that happen before. So if you flip it this way, it has a little bit more of this sleeve to work with, doesn't it? Okay, so that's how it's going to all go back together, just like that. Before I screw this all the way, I'm going to check this, and I have to hook it back up with that other little wing deal and all that. But before I tighten it all up, then I'll go back up to the sink, check it with the handle and stuff, and make sure that I have this facing the right, you know, is it up or down or what have you. And see, here's something else that's going on. Look at this. See how it's skewed? That's because somebody tried to screw this on here, and that was another reason why this was having a hard time sealing. And oh man, you see this here too? See that line right there? Another O-ring supposed to fit in there, and it's missing. It's not here. Let's see. Nope, sure enough, it's not in there. And another reason why this might be leaking out of there, but I got it, you know, pulled down tight, and it was holding water amazingly enough, because there's supposed to be an O-ring right there. So man, look at all these different things you're learning. And see how this is off to a skew? I mean, you could replace this entire thing. You could take this to the store, undo the threads here, and then make sure your new one fits on there, because sometimes you can buy one of these and you can't unscrew them, or the threads up here are different than what you have on the top. And it would be nice to keep this. It says American Standard, and that'll remind you what kind of sink that faucet was before. It's a nice anodized bronze. Lots of times you can't get anodized bronze, that your new caps are silver or they're gold. You might, you know, if you lose this or if you break it off or something, you may have to put a silver or gold one in there. So all kinds of different things on fixing a pop-up valve.